Okay, here we are for round 8. Should be starting in just a minute. Just going to go take a quick look at our opponent's deck. Okay, his hand looks okay. We've got both our colors, we just need a little bit more mana. So our opponent has a Doomblade, a Ring Flesh, a Bloodlord of Vazgoth, also a Archon of Justice. A lot of good cards. A Vampire Outcasts and Blood Rage Vampire. So lots of Bloodthirsties turning on. So definitely, if we can, probably take care of those big bombs that he's got, hopefully before they get there. The other thing that he's running is a lot of artifacts. He's running like Manoliths. I believe he's running a Crown. So bringing in our Manic Vandals will be probably a pretty good move. Looks like he's really checking out our deck here, trying to find out what we're running. So he's got a Sarah Angel and a Sengir Vampire and a Mighty Leap and a Stormfront Pegasus and a Griffin. He's a ridiculous amount of flyers. If we can shut down his mana with the Manic Vandal, hopefully lock him out of a color, we'll definitely have a better chance against him. Very strong, powerful deck we're up against. While we're waiting, we'll talk about potential sideboard cards here. So basically, the cards we could potentially bring in, definitely bring in Deathmark. Distress will be huge against him. Let's see, what else do we want to bring in? Potentially Slaughtercry, just because he's going to have a number of large creatures. Sengir Vampire and Sarah Angel. Most likely, yeah. Okay, here we are. If we can try to get some of those big creatures out of his hand, before he can hit the mana to play them, that's going to be pretty much how we win this game. Pretty deep in the tank on this side, not really sure what he's thinking about. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Okay, so he's going straight to the upkeep, just trying to buy time so he can start playing, guys. So we're just gonna we could Mind Rot here. If we draw the land and then another land, it's gonna be good to go ahead and basically curve out. We could also just drop Tunneler here and keep Shock open. So I mean, it really could go either way. I don't know really what I'd rather do. Because he's probably going to play a guy in his turn, I would assume. Mind Rot might be better a little bit later because we want to make sure we get a bomb. Then again, if we cripple his mana base now, it's not the worst either. So yeah. We don't have the land yet, but if we do get the land, we want to just curve out, I think. I think we're just going to go ahead and Mind Rot him now. It's probably still going to be a pretty tough decision for him. So he's banking on his late game. If he can get to 5 or 6 mana, we're probably going to be in trouble. So with that in mind, we definitely want to try to get guys on the table. Yep. Not sure why he's doing that during my upkeep. It seems pretty ridiculous, but... Now he's probably going to try to play like Bloodlord or possibly Sanger Vampire. Maybe Sarah Angel if he gets the mana, or Archon of Justice, probably. Like at this point, it might be worth spending 2 of our removal to, you know, get rid of one of his big guys, just depending on what it is, of course. Because we're kind of stuck on land. Manolith is not what we want to see here. It's going to allow him to play that Archon next turn. Okay, so here we definitely push beats. Going pretty far into the tank on this one, not really sure what he's thinking. Assuming he's just going to tap the Lightning Elemental, we'll bash for 3, then he'll play Archon. Soren Markov, okay. So this guy has just insane bombs. Alright. Here we basically have to, let's see, we could incinerate Soren Markov, and then just save the fireball for something else. Bash him down. Yeah, I think that's the play. Ring Flesh, sure. Hopefully he's got the stone nothing, and we can keep pushing. At this point, I mean, we could Gravedigger some guy, but I think we're just going to, you know, Bonebreaker here and then just bash. Now I think we, let's see, we Gravedigger for Could we Gravedigger for Lightning Elemental here, in case we draw land, leaving the shock open. We could drop these guys instead, but I don't think it's that much better. Now we just shock his guy. I mean, we don't have to shock his guy, but like we could just bash, but I think shocking this guy just adds to the efficiency. So he's got the Doomblade, okay. Now we've got him on the ropes. I mean, now we can drop... I guess we can drop Automaton for, like, Zombie. It's probably better here. I mean, we've got Vampires, but I think dropping it for Zombie is a little better. Just to equalize our threats. Now he needs basically Day of Judgment to get out of this one. Yep, and that's the game. Okay, so bringing in Deathmark, bringing in Manic Vandal, probably Slaughtercry. Cards we could take out. Let's see. He's got a lot of flyers. He has a few guys on the ground. I think Skeleton is not that amazing against him. I mean, it's okay, but probably just doesn't do enough. Tunneler is okay. Let's see, what else do I want to cut? Probably cutting Warpath Ghoul seems fine. It just doesn't... I mean, he's got so many 4 power, 4 toughness creatures. And then at that point, I think we cut... Don't really want to cut a creature here. But I think that we need to... Like, we've got to keep our removal. Slaughtercry goes a pretty long distance to just get there. I suppose we could like cut like a Piker, or maybe like Tunneler. I mean, Tunneler pushes through, I think, more of our guys. Could cut like a Devouring Swarm. I mean, it's not the best. We'll try this. Like, Swarm is fine with Tunneler, I suppose. But, like, I want the early game against him. I suppose we could cut Bonebreaker. Well, he trades with the 4/4s, though. I think this will be a decent setup. He's on the play. This hand looks fine. We should also bring in Distress if we haven't last time. We definitely need to bring in Distress. Let's see what he's got. Hopefully we can go deep with the Child of Night. Okay, Veteran. We can just kill the Veteran, but honestly I think once again, let's see, we could just Mind Rot him here. Do we have a turn 4 play? We do. We have a turn 4, 5, and 6 play, so I think we just Mind Rot him here. Bash in. Yeah, I like that play. Like either he loses his mana or his big creatures. Either way, we're fine. It's like Mind Rot does a lot of work in this matchup. Because if we keep drawing land, like next turn we tutor, turn 5 we Bonebreaker, turn 6 we Grave Titan. With, you know, the right land draw. Otherwise we can slow it down a turn and, you know, like Death Marker, Incinerate something. And we are certainly happy to race the Veteran. No problems with that. However, the Vampire Outcasts are more of a problem. So let's see, he has like Sarah Angel, potentially, Archon. Like, there's a decent chance he doesn't actually have any creatures in hand. He might, but it might be the right play here to. Because if we attack, he just attacks us back, and like we just really lose on that exchange. So like we want to block vampires if possible. Pretty deep in the tank here. Okay, there we go. So we got the land. Alright, this is actually a little interesting. If we just tutor right now, then we can't play our Bonebreaker next turn. Or, I mean, if we do, then we can. If we don't... Okay, so here's the play. The play is to attack. If he blocks, then we trade Incinerate and Child of Night for his guy. Then we Deathmark and slow this down by a turn. If he doesn't block, then we tutor, take the hit, play the Bonebreaker, then play the Titan. Yep, I think that is the play. Okay. So he's probably putting us on Slaughter Cry. That would be my guess. Like, it's the only attack that makes sense. you know, if he doesn't know that we're gonna tutor for Titan. Yeah, so he's fine with that. And we are fine to then tutor. Divine Favor. Yuck. Okay, he's going to be gaining a lot of life. Yep. Okay. There's the land. Okay, so we play the Bone Breaker, bash in, play Titan next turn. Nothing changes. He just gains a lot of life, is the only difference. If he has O-Ring, it's really bad, but we just gotta deal with that. So now I assume he has... Oh, he's got Ring Flesh. Do we care about Ring Flesh? He kills our guy. Doesn't really matter. Actually, Ring Flesh is pretty important for... Is it? Let's see, we're at 15. We go to 7. I don't think we actually care. He's at 22. He can use his Ring Flesh. Yep. So we try to bash in. Taps our guy, then we have Titan open. Now he's in a pretty decently rough spot. I mean, he can tap down our guy, but we can just keep making zombies and just don't even care. Like, unless he has a removal for it right now, it's pretty rough for him. Yeah. Yep, and we can just keep playing threats while he taps out his own mana. Like, there's no reason for us to attack here. We can just sit and wait. Probably could have kept the swamp in our hands just in case he's got Mind Rot or something like that. But if he wants to bash in, he is certainly welcome to. We could even kill his guy end a turn here. I think that's actually fine. And he's got the Mighty Leap. Sure. Okay, we're going to have to draw some business here pretty soon for this to work. So if we Deathmark his guy, start bashing, try to gain some of the life back here. Do we have any reason to hold land in our hand? I don't think so. It's like either Fireball just takes him out, or I mean, we can draw Manic Vandal. Like we have a fair number of outs. Of course, if we don't draw anything, then we will lose. Here he probably has Archon and is deciding whether or not to cast it. Dignitary, that works. Let's see, so if we make this guy unblockable, we go to 9, he bashes us for 6, go to 3. Really would rather just, I mean, but if he taps this guy next turn, he can't really do that, so I think we just sit. And he's got the Blood Rage Vampires, okay. Let's see here. So if we attack, we die, I think. Because if we attack, yeah, he just taps this guy, or taps this guy, and then we lose. So we just gotta hope to draw something here. At this point, we want to block here just because otherwise he can tap him down. We won't have a chance to get the lifelink. Although, will that matter? Let's see. So, 5, 9. No, it shouldn't matter actually. We just block here. Yep. Slaughter Cry. Yeah, it's not bad. Not going to say, I mean, it can buy us a turn maybe. 5, 9, 10, we go to 12. Yeah, we can get a turn out of it.